stupid Regency.
What is it?
Hallmark reads.
Okay.
Oh, Serena hates. It's like the universe is leveling out. Okay.
When I say I fucking hate them, I fucking like, oh my gosh, here we go. You know, like, what the fuck? And then they got bunnies talking. So I hate that soft ass shit. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. If somebody don't punch somebody in the face, like, I'm digging from the bottom. This ain't gonna work for me. Ugh. Don't watch me open my stuff. Hallmark. Of course you would pick some damn Hallmark. Oh, Rockstar. Okay. That can be fun. All right. Yes. Rockstar and Hallmark. Okay.
Yeah, I put Rockstar for something, but that must be Rockstar.
But I figured you meant.
Yeah. I was writing a lot of stuff, y'all.
So Hallmark, what, like, does that mean is...
You know what Hallmark is.
But how, no. Hey Tipsy friends, I'm Sarita.
I'm Nikki.
And we're your favorite sisters. And welcome to our YouTube channel.
Welcome back if you're returning.
We are so happy that you're here. We have something special for you guys. It's kind of an oldie but goodie. It's something that we did a few times. And we fell off, you guys, and I hate falling off to my own shit. I don't know what it is about it. I don't like it. I don't like it. So what we are going to do today is
the cup of tea, also known as the trope of death.
Nobody calls it the trope of death.
I call it trope of
or
death.
the jar of death. Nobody calls it that.
I do.
No.
Because it's fun or stressful depending who you ask.
So don't ask her. Ask me, okay? And it's really fun. So what it is we get stuck in a rut as romance readers. Like, you either read contemporary or you either read urban or fantasy, all the different things, right? But it's kind of like a set situation. So we decided to get out of our own comfort zones, like to literally look outside of our small box and expand it, if you will. And that is where the jars come in. Nikki took so much time to write down so many different tropes, things that I had never freaking heard of. And some things that I was like, why the fuck you putting it in the jar? Nobody wants that. That's what this is.
So yes, the challenge is to try a trope, rather familiar or new, and to see if it's your cup of tea. And then by the end of it, are you sipping it?
And so far, we've only done it twice, right? That I can think of. And we sipped both.
Yeah.
Like, we ended up liking it.
I don't know if I'm sipping the trope. It was Regency. But I enjoyed the story. And I plan to actually start book 2 pretty soon. So
she was sipping it.
I mean, I don't know if I sipped it. I'm sipping it. I'm, sip in it. But I will link the playlist of the other videos of the cup of tea in the description down below. If you want to catch up, because they were a fun ride.
So I guess we should start off by what happened the last time.
Oh, last time. I was feeling some type of way last time, right? Because I felt personally attacked by Sarita's pick, even though it's random, which was Regency Romance. And so I felt justified after when I got Hallmark Romance, something that Sarita openly has said she dislikes and hates.
I will read everything. The one things that I'm not really too keen on are clean romances, YA, and like, that bubblegum romance. I'm not a bubblegum girl. I rarely read Hallmark reads.
Hallmark is on here.
And I mean, I read Christmas stories all year long. All year long. So, I do love holiday stories, but not, too clean, when they get all, I'm going to build a snowman with you, and ain't nobody rolling around in the snow. That's a problem for me. You guys, Hallmark? Like, the fact that that's even a thing is irritating, okay? We're not going to go there. And then we also had Rockstar, which was really cool because I never thought of certain things as rock stars. And that's something else too, because you think a trope is one way, but then when you look up the definition, you're like, whoa, I didn't even know it meant that, or I didn't even know that was that. So it's been a fun little ride.
For sure. So let's get into the challenge. So first we had Hallmark romances. So let's take a look back and remember what the definition of Hallmark trope is. A Hallmark trope refers to according to Google, the reoccurring predictable elements and character types found in Hallmark Channel movies, particularly their holiday films. These tropes are often comforting and familiar, providing a sense of nostalgia and escapism for viewers. Other common Hallmark tropes are small town, return home, misunderstanding, bumping into each other, wholesome characters. So Hallmark, actually what I learned in this process is a bigger umbrella under, and then under smaller tropes fall under it. This was an experience. Would you say?
Y'all,
especially because I don't watch the Hallmark Channel.
Baby, when I tell y'all that I had a hard time, all right? Like a real hard time, because what I considered Hallmark was not Hallmark. So I had forgotten the definition of Hallmark. So I picked a book that I thought was cutesy. So I'm like, this must be Hallmark. So I'm reading the book and I'm really into it and I'm really liking it. So I'm like, this can't be Hallmark. This can't be it. So I called Nikki on my lunch break and I was like, can you read it to me? What is Hallmark? So she read it again and I was like, that ain't Hallmark. So the book that I started off with, you guys, was Playing for Keeps by D.A. Young. And I was really enjoying this story. It was really good. I'm having a lot of fun. And I just knew something wasn't right. Something wasn't right. It was too fucking good. You know what I'm saying? I was enjoying it too fucking much. It couldn't have been Hallmark. So it was not. So now I'm literally today trying to figure out, well, what am I going to read? What's going to be Hallmark? Da, 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 da. So I'm looking at all the cartoony characters because I'm all the cartoony covers because I'm like, oh, those have to be Hallmark. A lot of them ain't Hallmark. Like, just because you slap a cartoon on a cover, it don't mean it's Hallmark.
Only you thought that.
Baby, that's what I thought, okay? So I had one story in my library that I hadn't read yet because it was too fucking cutesy. So I'm kind of showing this to Nikki, giving her, asking her help and stuff. And she's like, I can't really help you because we're not supposed to know what the person has. So I'm just kind of like, okay.
Sorry. And also the challenge was it couldn't be a book we've already previously read.
So I'm trying to tell Nikki about this story without telling her about the story, without telling her anything but some things so she can know if I'm doing right? And she's like, well, I don't know what that is. I haven't read it because, she doesn't know. But she was like, but it doesn't sound Hallmark. And I'm like, okay, bitch, it ain't, right? So
she attacked me, you guys. I was sweet version. She attacked me like I wrote the definition of Hallmark.
So I actually found I just went through my freaking library and decided to read one of the stories that I had. And that is called Peaches and Honey by Imogen Markwell Tweed. It is 3 hours and 48 minutes. It is narrated by Ray
Jericho.
You guys.
What library? Because you have multiple libraries.
I don't remember. It was either from, you know what? I do. It's from... It used to be called Scrib, but now it's Everand. I had just been saving some things. Sometimes I see covers and I just save them, and it was in that library or in the save space. You guys, this story was so fucking Hallmark. Hallmark needs to pay Imogen for this fucking story, okay? When I tell you, it was an MM romance, you guys. The cover is gorgeous. I was going to order the actual cover from Amazon or try to go to Barnes & Noble and get the cover. But when I looked it up, I hated the cover. I hated the cover of the actual book. The audiobook is adorable. The physical cover, I wasn't a fan, so I'm not going to buy it. Okay. The story, if you search up the word Hallmark, this story is going to be there. It was the cutest romance that I have ever read in my life, you guys. It was everything that Hallmark says. Small town, coming home, fucking cutesy neighbors, fucking birds, there was cats. I mean, everything that you can think of, there was baking. Everything about this story was Hallmark, you guys. It was neighbors knowing your business. It was, I mean, when I tell you, it was everything, it was everything. Do you know what it wasn't? It was sexual. No, not a flicker, not a switch, not a nothing. They didn't even go in the dark. Yeah.
Well, I was
the only physical touch they had was a kiss. 3 minutes into the book being ended. 3 minutes to the end. 3 minutes, okay?
You can't get us stuck in these dark.
And I mean, this was the most scandalous story that I have ever read with no fucking sex.
It was in the dark.
There was no darkness. There was nothing. It was 11 hours and 58 minutes of no sex. There was a passionate kiss or two, but that was it, baby. That was 3 minutes, you guys. Okay, so let me tell you guys about the story. So you get one person that is a plant into this small town, and then you get another person that's moving home. After a divorce, he's starting over. And he was known as kind of like an alpha guy when he left. So when he came back, he kind of had to come back a little bit more humble, being nicer to people because he needed these people to lean on. And he's a baker. He's a jolly guy. I couldn't imagine that he was a mean person before. There are some little dark undertones, meaning there was a little bit of family drama. There was a little bit of abandonment. And then you kind of get someone who is an implant. I actually thought he was black. Turns out he's not. On the cover, he was black, but he has some curly hair, so he could be mixed with something. We don't know. He is openly gay. He left an ex-fiance, an ex-lover. He's done. He's moved on. He's in a small town. He's trying to start over. So this is where the story, the only thing that kept me.
Okay.
Besides how cute it was, you guys, because you know I love a small town. It was that we had an openly gay guy and a guy that never, ever thought about men at all. And that's what was really cool, because you're in his head and he's like, yeah, he's just so cute. No, he's not cute. That's cute, you know? It was so cute, you guys. The story was adorable. It was adorable. It was adorable. Just because that you are with someone, it doesn't mean that they're meant to be your forever. Sometimes you can love someone and not be in love with them, and it can be healthy to walk away. It doesn't have to be toxic. And I feel like they did a really good job in this story showing that you can love someone from a distance, okay? And that sometimes there are people that get hurt from divorces and breakups, and that it's okay to, you know, openly talk about your feelings to those people, because sometimes you need to hear it. The narrator did a good job. I wouldn't say he was my favorite narrator, but he is a new narrator to me. This was also a new author to me. So I really did enjoy finding both. I would say that this story is a 3.5. And it was also the narrator. I'd give him a 3 as well.
Okay.
Girl.
Excuse me. Okay, so
you know what? I'm sorry. Y'all know I only had an hour left in this story. I only had an hour left. That's all I want to let you guys know. That's how fucking committed I am to these jars.
So my Hallmark is The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. I mean, it's Hallmark, y'all. It's Hallmark. It's not freaking small town Hallmark, but they're neighbors, okay? They have a meet
They were
cute.
also neighbors.
They have a meet cute. I loved this story, okay? Nick and Lily had my whole heart and soul, okay? Nick is an author who is like retired, because this too had some undertones of like the dark abandonment, family issues kind of things as well. So Nick kind of just hit a rough patch. And so he gave up writing as an author and just like fled to do other things, right? And his story is kind of, you know how you read a book and it's like no one's ever heard of it, but you know it's a bestseller, that you know it's amazing. So that's kind of how Nick's book went. Of course it has. That's kind of what Nick. And then you have Lily, who loves books. She loves to read. Like, books are her passion. And Nick's book just so happens to be one of those books that every time she brings it up, no one's heard of it. So she's stalking this author. What?
Do you remember when that lady was in Barnes and Noble?
Oh my!
She's like, has anybody heard of Shelton?
Isn't anybody familiar with the misery books? I'm telling you, how could any of you be in a bookstore when you don't know Paul Sheldon? When you've never read Misery? What is wrong with you all? I don't understand what is happening.
No worries, ma'am. No worries.
Looking for a cock-a-doodle book!
I can order it for you.
Really? Okay. Lily didn't do that.
You saying that makes me think of that. She said, what kind of cockamamie? What's this?
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So she's stalking him on social media. There is nothing. He has no social media presence, nothing. So she just like randomly likes to just check and see. And she finds a website. So she emails him. And in the process of emailing him, baby girl passes out. Okay? So, and unfortunately, the incomplete email gets sent. And so she completely forgets about it, yada, yada, until he emails back.
Okay, that's cute.
You guys, when I tell you the back and forth conversations, the dialogue in this story was so profound through email.
I love that.
Swoon, okay? Swoon, right? And what's so great is Lily and Nick are both completely awkward. And I mean, like, my level of... Lily might be a little more awkward than me, but, like, my level of awkward. Okay? Like, it was the most
You're not that awkward.
I'm very quirky and awkward. It was the most adorable back and forth, right? And because of certain reasons, things happen and their friendship gets ended. But now we get to the even cuter because they don't know their neighbors. And they're spending time together and they just... It was romantic.
So their friendship ended through email?
Yes, because they were going to meet, like, and for whatever reason, I'm not going to tell you guys, you got to read the book, but for whatever reason, it doesn't happen. And so somebody gets ghosted on the internet and the friendship fizzles out.
Okay. I would say that I'm going to read this, but you said it's Hallmark. So
No, but it's so good.
I just don't know if I want to put myself through that.
So fizzles out, but they don't realize that they're neighbors. And they both just start geeking out and talking about books, and they're both awkward, but she thinks he's so cool, and he's like so stuck in his head about her.
Oh, that's
cute. Adorable. There even is a cat. Like you said.
What could be more
Mr. Top Cat is his name. You know?
And this cat's name was Baby. So
it's super, super cute. And Lily has sisters. This is the first book of the Green Sister series. So
that's cute.
The other sisters have their own story. Lily is the youngest, and she is, again, awkward. Like, her one sister's, they're both professional and accomplished, and she comes from an accomplished family, and she's just kind of in a rut of getting to where she wants to be.
So what does she do? She
is technically a PA, but also she does, what is that word? Like publishing? Like, she helps find books, but it's not in the genre she wants. So she's trying to, but her main title is personal assistant.
Okay. So
that's not enough for her family. They all know that that's not where she wants to be. So everyone's just trying to kind of pushing her and pulling her in different directions. And it's a beautiful story. Like, the writing was so engaging. I read it in one day. I was obsessed. Thing is, I think I was more obsessed with the characters than the whole story. Like I would read the other books, but I'm not like jumping at the bits to jump to the other stories. But I really, really like this one. The lights kicked in towards the end, so it did have lights.
I don't know how you keep ending up with lights and I just don't. Like,
it did have lights. It was slow burn-y, but not in the annoying way that you just want to put the book down. I was completely engaged. I was obsessed. But again, I think it was more so the characters than the overall story. I don't think the story would have fit different characters. So I can't say if they were different characters, I wouldn't have liked it. But their dynamic was the charm of the story for me. But I really, really enjoyed it.
It's a cute cover.
It's such a cute, and that was what's funny about your cartoon theory for me. Nick was not the stereotypical book bae, but he was charming and intelligent. And when he would geek out about books, I literally melted. And he used good words because he was a writer. And like, he was such a pessimist. And I just wanted to give him a hug. Like, I loved him. Lily was a sweet, super shy girl with a good heart who just wanted to live life by her terms, but was also surrounded by the people she loved who were wanting to push her. It was a fantastic read, you guys. Like, I truly enjoyed it. It was 4-6 for me. Again, if I come across the other books, I would read them, but I'm not jumping at the bits to jump to them. I enjoyed this story, but I too don't know if Hallmark is my trope.
The way you was just ranting and raving, bitch, I think it is.
This book was so good.
I believe you like Hallmark stories.
Of course you do. I can't say I don't. I've never watched. I don't watch Hallmark, but I definitely enjoyed my Hallmark pick. 4-6, easy. Okay, so now let's talk about the Rockstar trope. So, Rockstar trope refers to the archetype of a highly accomplished and well-regarded individual, often associated with fame and notoriety, who excels in their field. That is the main definition, but it's a broader, according to Google, it's a broader term than just musicians, implying someone who stands out and is seen as a leader or exemplar, regardless of their profession, which is something I didn't know. I always thought rockstar meant just a famous musician.
So that was actually something Nikki had to explain to me, because I assume rockstar trope could just be anybody famous, right? So that's what my mindset was. And then when Nikki read it to me, I'm like, oh, okay, so it can just be someone famous. But why call it rockstar trope if it's not just a fucking rock star, right?
That's what I always thought, musician.
So I ended up going with an actual rapper. I've had this story for about 2 years, but it's finally on audio. I am so thankful that Lady Nisha put it on audio. So it is Finally Famous by Lady Nisha. It is narrated by Chance Smulders and Anna Lynn Wright. It is 13 hours and 45 minutes. Baby, when I tell you I love this story, I loved this story. You get a plus size beauty. She is like an internet influencer. She's young, she's fun, she's a good big sister, she's a fabulous friend. And then you get Ra, Southside Ra, and he is that dude. He's one of those people that will not forget about where he came from. He's trying to bring everybody along with him. And sometimes your day ones, they gotta stay fucking back. You know, sometimes you realize just because you've known this person forever doesn't mean they're not a hater. It doesn't mean that a parent can't be a hater. Baby, this story was so good to me, you guys. I love the energy of this story. I love the pace. There are some triggering things. If you're a person that needs to know about trigger warnings, I definitely think you should look them up. There are some drug abuse. There's a little bit of abuse. There's a lot of things happening in this story. There's child loss. Definitely look up the trigger warnings if you're a person that needs to, because if you get triggered. I really love this story, you guys. You get a good big sister who loves her big brother and she's willing to do anything and everything for him. You got a big brother you got somebody that's ready to put the fucking hood on his back, okay? You guys, the story was phenomenal. I think the narrators did a really good job. I really felt like they brought the story to life. a lot happened. That's all I can say, baby. A lot happened. This is only my second Lady Nisha story, and I'm soaking up her catalog. So the story to me was 5 sips, hands down, 5 sips. The narrators, I would give them a 3.5. The lights, it's kind of difficult with the lights, right? Because when I like lights, it's because it's the couple that's meant to be together. I don't like when they out here side fucking, you know, I don't like
I call them pre-lights because they irritate me as well. Like, I don't want to read about you and so. I want to read you about you and this person.
So pre-lights are good. There was a lot of pre-lighting, okay?
Oh, no, that irritates me.
So when it actually lit up, it was really good. So I can't hate. I'm gonna say it was like a 3.5 for all the lights because it was doing stuff I didn't want it to do. Okay.
Okay.
And fuck the internet. Fuck the internet.
You ain't never lied because really, F the internet.
That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's all.
Love in Africa is the only time I can say that I got pre-lights that I didn't mind because you needed to get those lights to understand the full scope of the story. That was the only time. Side note. And I don't know if I mentioned the Neighbor Favor is 385 pages long, and the audiobook was 10 hours and 6 minutes. My Rockstar gutted me. It was the mixtape by Brittany Cherry.
Brittany Cherry gutted you?
Yes.
Isn't it fluffy?
No.
I don't know why I feel like her writing is... I've never read anything by her, but for some reason I feel like her writing is fluffy.
I forgot to put the who narrated the Neighbor Favor. I'll put it on screen. But the mixtape was 322 pages long. It was 10 hours and 30 minutes. Sorry, guys, I'm looking down at my notes. And it was narrated by Jordan Cobb and James Shippey. Okay. So I don't know if I mentioned it, but a personal challenge for myself was also to try and find these tropes in authors that I have never read before. Because there's authors that I know, I don't care what the trope is. If I pick up the book, I know I'm going to love it. So I just wanted to add that extra layer of challenge. So this is my first ever Brittany Cherry book. It will not be my last. Okay. I loved this story. When I say this, I cried. The whole story, just tears rolling down my face as if it was a normal thing. That's what happened here. Okay. I picked up the book and I was like, I'm going to read it because I'm in that stage of being woke and tired, and I think I'm going to go back to sleep. It's really early, so I'm just going to do a few pages until I get tired. I didn't go back to sleep because I read the whole story. Okay, so I knew it was going to be sad because of the synopsis. Oliver loses his brother.
Aww.
And they are a dynamic duo. Alex and Oliver is their names.
Aww.
And they are rock stars, you know, they're R&B artists. They make music, like they are loved.
All together?
Yes.
Aww.
They are loved. And it puts you in the mindset of me and you, right? Like I'm sure there's people that prefer you over me and vice versa. It's fine. And there's
everybody
people that
loves Nikki.
That's not true. But that's kind of the situation for Oliver and Alex. And tragically and unexpectedly, we lose Alex. And Oliver is just spiraling. He's reeling like, that's his brother. You know, that's his twin.
Oh, no.
Yes. So I knew it was going to be sad. I knew
that
it.
Sounds horrible.
I knew it was going to be sad. I thought I was going to cry here and there, but the writing was so exquisite. Like, it was so heart-wrenching and visual. Like, I felt like it was so good. And what was so great is the way she wrote it. Like, we got to meet Alex. It's not like it picks up at his death. You meet him and you kind of fall in love with him more and more throughout the story just from how other people viewed him.
Oh, no. Oh, this is making me sad.
It was so good. And then we have Emery, who's just kind of down on her luck right now. As a single mom trying to make it work, trying to make things happen, but just keeps getting hit.
I love single mom stories.
Yes, you would enjoy this. You would really enjoy this. But just keeps getting hit. So they have this random meeting because Oliver is trying to, you know, he's trying to do his thing, but the internet is cruel. Like, so cruel. And it's so crazy because your own mind can be your worst enemy sometimes. This deals with grief. It deals with mental health. you guys, when I tell you this story was so tragically beautiful, and how finding your person when you are truly in the dark, and like, you know you want to get out, but you don't know how, and how just a single ripple, just a little flashlight in the dark is all you need to start like trudging and going through the mud. It was so amazing. The lights didn't kick in until chapter 31, I want to say. And it's only 42 chapters, okay? Or 40 chapters with an epilogue. So, and it might have been like 36. It was like at the very end, okay? And it wasn't a lot, but when I tell you guys, I didn't miss it. At no point was I like, okay, but when now? Because I was so engrossed in everything that was happening. Like, it was so beautifully written. I know that I am a fan of Brittany Cherry just from this book, the way she wrote it, the way it was so real and so achingly, and fuck the internet. Period. Because the way, I'm not gonna tell y'all, but the internet is so cruel, and how people can write a story because it's interesting and just run with it. And just say the most cruel and evil things because you don't feel like you're going to have to answer for it. But these are real people, and I love the way she explored that. And not just with rock stars or people who aren't famous, but paparazzi and behind the scenes things. You don't think about the people on the rock stars team who's affected by these things, you know? So it was just, it was so beautifully written, okay? I loved it. It had... Pay attention to trigger warnings because there are some other darker things that happen. But this will not be my last Brittany Cherry book. I am a fan, okay? This was phenomenal. And it's all set in California and just family drama and how we have good siblings and bad siblings and horrible families and then really good families and just the way life be lifing, okay? I loved this story. I cannot rave about it enough. 5 sips easy. I can't wait to get into more into her catalog. I thoroughly enjoy. And the mixtape, when you figure out why. Those who know. So good. So good. Loved it. You would really enjoy this one too.
Okay.
I recommend both my books.
I recommend both mine too, especially if you are looking for something that's a little bit more soft. And if you're looking to dip your toes into MM, I definitely recommend
That's a safe.
Okay.
Well, you want to pick first?
You can go
Now
first.
it's time for the jar of death.
You can go first. I don't know if doing this actually moves them.
I don't know. We don't got enough space for me. It says older man. So we got to read about an old person. Older person.
So not just they have to be older?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it can be like an older couple or an old thing. Oh!
No!
The worst! Oh!
A happy for now.
That is literally the worst.
Oh my god. How do you know? This is every romancer's like doom.
Oh my gosh. Because then you have to read book 2.
Damn.
How do you even find a happy for now?
I have no idea. If you know any good happy for nows that are on audio, please let me know. Preferably Black characters.
Yeah. If you know any happy for now with Black characters, doesn't have to be on audio, please let me know. Happy for now?
For now.
I forgot all about that one.
Mm-hmm,
That's so stupid.
An interracial couple too.
Yeah,
Like,
I would just prefer a Black female lead.
you know. It's about to get
Happy
interesting.
for now? That is so wild.
It's about to get interesting. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and vibing with your girls.
Yes, and let us know some of your favorite books that fall under these 2 tropes.
And if you've read any of these stories, please let us know. I really want to talk to people. Like, y'all been knowing about Lady Nisha. I haven't. Like, I want to talk to y'all. Like, what's up?
So thank you guys for your time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, ring a ding ding. Until next time, bye guys.
Bye.